Welcome back. The crowd always works itself into a frenzy here up in Logan, and it has paid off for this team. They have 12 straight home victories going back to last season, 9-0 at home this season. And Gary, great night for Danny Sprinkle tonight. He's going for his 100th career win. He had 81 wins at Montana State, and he's now at 18 here. So 100th career win if they get this victory tonight. How about that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more wins in his future, too. The way that he has displayed his coaching prowess, I think he's got a lot of runway ahead of him in terms of career wins is concerned.
Well, that win last week at Boise State, 90-84 in overtime. They had to get to overtime, first of all. Martinez had tied that game. What a great game that was, and it just kept them rolling. Of course, they had the 15-game win streak that ended at New Mexico, but a lot of streaks end in New Mexico. Tough place to play. So we are underway here, and the usual starting five for Danny Sprinkle's team of Osobor, Brown, Falslev, Martinez, and that's Isaac Johnson in the post, and he gets him on the board.
Yeah, I like to see him have that strong inside presence to go in, finish through contact. That's a good thing to see from him and his progression this year as a basketball player.
Talk about a basketball family. His sister, of course, on the Utah State girls basketball team, women's basketball team, and his brother plays for BYU. So
some good genetics.
It runs deep in that family. First shot missed by San Jose State, but a turnover. And here comes Amy. We talked about him, and Amy scoops it up, and a foul to great Osobor early in this game.
Yeah, they don't want to get Osobor in foul trouble early, and generally he's pretty good about staying out of it. It's a rare turnover by Brown as well. You don't see that very often.
So Amy goes to the free throw line, 80% free throw shooter. And he connects last year when these two teams played here. As you look at Tim Miles, longtime coach, it was a great game. Utah State won it by a point, 75-74 here in the Spectrum.
Yes, San Jose has always been a very athletic team. They can get up and down the court. They can put points on the board. That's always been how their program is. So undoubtedly, there's no team in the Mountain West that you can look past.
Well, the Aggies have certainly seen that this year. You look at the UNLV win. I mean, that was unbelievable close, the Boise State win. And then as Martinez goes to the rack, their game at New Mexico. Very, very tough league this year. Could be 5 or 6 teams in the NCAA tournament. Right now, Ken Palm has ranked Utah 34. We like Ken Palm because he's from here in Utah. And Joe Lunardi has him as a 6 seed. Now, there's a lot of basketball to play, but it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Drive to the basket. Mason Falslev is there for the defense. And Falslev, they should give him a block for that. And here comes Mason. Brown. He drives, loses the ball. It will stay here with the Aggies. Darius Brown, the senior.
Yeah, it looks like the reffing is letting some contact go through, which I, as a player, I really enjoyed.
Randy McCall, one of the officials here, who officiated you.
That's right. Yeah, he was great. I love when Randy officiated. I think he was consistent. He knew what he was doing, although he did tee me up once. But I think it was deserved.
What?
Yeah, me getting a tee,
Sweet
unheard
little
of.
Gary Wilkinson?
Unheard of.
Do you remember what?
Yeah, I think it was just a pretty loud explanation about a foul. I thought it should have been called.
Oh, should have been called. Okay.
Well, and it was against Utah, so there was an extra bit of spice in the air that night.
Did you win the game?
We did win.
There you go. Turnover. As Johnson trying to go to the rack. Corner 3 on the way, and Amy delivers. He is a 36% free throw or three-point shooter, and he has all 6 of the San Jose points.
Yeah, he's come out with a little bit of energy in his step, a little bit of fire.
Great Osobor working in the post. Great coming off a double-double against Boise State at 14 points, 10 rebounds. He also had 7 steals in that.
Yeah. Yeah, he always seems to find a way to do something that's so extraordinary, whether it's rebounding, whether it's free throws, whether it's steals or blocks. Or
Well, he had the one in the overtime. It was like a combination block and steal.
Yeah.
And then he got it ahead, and as he works in the post here, Aduje ended up dunking at home and kind of put that game away.
Yeah.
Great does a lot of things. Fans don't like that one bit as San Jose State takes the ball. Another three on the way, and that's good as Trey Anderson connects.
Yeah, San Jose State is a great three. They can put points up on the board from three-point range, and if they get hot, they roll.
36% as a team.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit better than the Aggies shoot. Martinez, which way is this going? Again, Aggies lose the ball, and it's going back to San Jose State. Spartans with a 9-4 lead early. A little bit of a 6-0 run that they're on after the Aggies had scored early on. Three-pointer on the way. That was way off, and the Aggies have the ball as Anderson couldn't match his earlier trade. Again, working the post, and Osibor draws the foul. Free throws coming for Great.
So, and I think that's going to be a challenge for San Jose State, is to find a challenge for our team. Great runs the floor. Mason finds a good position on him, and he's able to draw that foul there. But that's one thing that he does so well. We've talked about it time and again, his ability to draw fouls. That's where
it seems like we harp on that every game because he just does.
Yeah, he has a good ability to get to the line.
It's unreal how many that he'll force the other team into. He's just a load.
Yeah.
6'8", 250-pound junior out of England. Of course, played at Montana State last year for Danny Sprinkle, and when he made the move to Utah State, he brought Osibor and Darius Brown with him, and I think that was a pretty good choice to bring those two. And Osborne's got another year. He's just a junior.
Yeah, he's going to be a guy that's going to be a factor for the rest of this season and at least another one.
Yeah. Drive to the basket as Tibet Goriner gets right past Mason Falslip.
Well, and I'm sure the scouting report on Tibet was shooter, shooter, shooter. He can really put up points from long distance, and so you have to crowd him, and then he's putting the ball on the floor to get to the basket.
And then Brown answers. That ended a nearly 3-minute drought, Gary, by Utah State. No field goals. They needed that. Amy again, and Amy gets that one to roll in. And Myron Amy off to a great start in this game, already has 8 points. Osibor again draws the foul. 2 drawn fouls. He'll be shooting after the timeout. Aggies 18-2 on the season, 6-1 in league play, trying to build on that. 17th ranked team in the nation. Back here in Logan, there is Ian Martinez, 18 points, 8 for 8 free throws against Boise State on Saturday. In that big win, 90-84 in overtime. He had 4 straight free throws in the last 14 seconds that secured that win, and they were huge as Osibor misses his second.
Well, I think the Aggies like to keep it interesting on the road. The game against UNLV, against Boise, they just those are games that just have you grinding until the end, and they find a way to come out with the wins.
Find a way is a perfect way to describe it in both of those games.
Yeah.
Especially that UNLV game. They get that shot and the foul off the ball. It was unreal. Osibor got his hand up, prevented that pass from Goriner going in, and he has to launch a 3, fight for the ball. It looks to me like it went off of Garrett Anderson, and it did.
That's the stuff that energizes you as a player. You have your teammates fighting for it. Brown's able to make a heads-up play to keep the Aggies with possession.
Javon Jackson checking into the game out of Houston, Texas, the sophomore. Danny Sprinkle seems to have kind of settled into a lineup. Oh, a doozy! Straight to the rack.
Yeah, he has settled into a lineup. He's got his kind of rotation starting to slim down, and this is the time of year that those things happen. You get your 7 guys that you roll with, that you feel comfortable with, and you just stick with them through the last part of this season.
Yeah, and this is the 9th game we've done, and in December when they played Irvine and San Diego, so you look at Aduje getting to the rack there, and Northwest Nets, all those teams, you could just see him kind of messing around with the lineups, but he's definitely settled in. Kick out 3, blocked. Martinez got his hand on that, and he's not looking as Aduje throws the ball down court, and Danny Sprinkle immediately looks at him and says, hey, make sure your guy knows it's coming. I had the right idea, but Martinez just wasn't looking back.
Well, Martinez has plays like that game after game where it's just, that shows his unbelievable athleticism to be able to close out on a shooter and block the shot.
And then be down court. So, yeah.
Very impressive.
After the missed shot, though, the Aggies get the ball right back. Post that was going to be a tough pass. And a turnover there. Utah State now has 5 turnovers, Gary. And San Jose State doesn't have any. And yet they only lead by 3.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic for Utah State to turn the ball over that much. They're so much more disciplined. Osobor getting beat off the dribble. And I think he's kind of hesitant. He doesn't want to pick up another foul this early in the game. Probably right to let that one go.
5-point San Jose State lead. They're 1-6 in league play. 8-12 overall. They did have a great start of the season, 5-2 in their first 7 as Osobor turns and gets the layup. One thing San Jose State does like to do is shoot threes. They lead the league actually, averaging nearly 10 a game.
Yeah, and they have shooters from every position. They can shoot it from the 5 to the 3 to the 2.
Yeah, all of them do. Well, that's turnover. Miscalculation on the pass. We've seen both teams do that so far in the early going of this game. As great Osobor will go to the bench and get a little bit of a rest. And Khalifa Sacco, the junior from France, checks in. So Aduje, Sacco, and a little bit of Jackson off the bench is what Danny Sprinkle's been doing. And even Carson Templin has been getting a few minutes.
Yeah.
We may see him later on. Aduje.
Well, the one thing I'd like to see is
just missed
the
that
Aggies
one.
struggle when Osobor's on the bench from an offensive standpoint. They kind of are out of sorts. They don't know, really haven't formed an identity without him. And I think as this progresses, you're going to have to find a way to put points on the board when Osobor's on the bench, because there will be points where he may be in foul trouble or he just needs a rest. And in close games, you're going to need to find a way to keep scoring going.
Well, right now their defense is top-notch. Shot clock down to 3. 2 launching the 3. It's just about as the shot clock was about to go off. Alvaro Cardenas, and that won't go. How about that? Sacco throws it down.
Yeah, the Aggies are starting to play with a little bit more energy. Great defense leads to great offense. And that's where I think the Aggies can start to build with Osobor on the bench, is just from the defensive end, getting out in transition, being able to score in a different way.
Aggies have now scored on 4 of their last 5 possessions within a point, and a turnover. Yep, it will go to the Aggies. And the timeout is called. We got a good one early on. But check out the pass. Sacco, the finish. Aggies trailing by a point on KMYU TV and the Mountain West Network. Aggies locked in a battle early on against San Jose State. They lead this series pretty comfortably, 69-23. But in Logan, they are 40-4. So they've dominated the Spartans here in this building.
They've done that to a lot of teams. This is a tough place to play.
Osobor still on the bench. Martinez, a contested three, and he doesn't mind. It goes.
Yeah, the level of confidence he's playing with lately is great for the Aggies.
Confidence is, you're exactly right, Gary. Perfect word for it. He's got 5 points. Pass inside, and John gets a little too free.
Yeah, Sacco needs to be aware of where the ball is on that one. On the rotation where he slips down, the ball goes right past his ear. It's a rule in defense.
Yeah,
you got to know where the ball is.
Right. Aggies now continue this little run, scoring on 5 out of their last field goal attempts. Sacco with a post-up kick out, and Duje can't get the three to fall.
Well, he's perfect from the field in the last 2 games until that shot.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention it until he missed, so I'm glad you finally brought it up, because you get in trouble for that.
Right.
But now that he has missed, you are right. He's been playing really well. And good defense inside of the post. This time, John cannot get the shot to go. We are tied up. Shot clock at 10. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you see how the offense becomes stagnant when Osobor's off the floor. But passing on the perimeter, no inside presence, taking tough shots.
Oh, how about that, though? So Aduje misses, but Darius Brown, all 6'2" of them, gets 2 rebounds and puts 1 back up and in.
Yeah, we pad the stats.
Yeah.
Give yourself an extra rebound there.
It's a home game, so he'll definitely get credit for both of them.
Right.
Aggies leading now after falling behind early. So Sacco picks up the foul, and free throws coming for Trey Anderson. I mentioned the three-point shooting of this team, so we'll keep an eye on number 5, Tibet Goriner. If he gets 2 threes tonight, he will tie San Jose State's all-time three-point shooting record, 161 of them. He's got 159. He needs 2 to tie it, 3 to break it.
Yeah,
we'll keep an eye on that.
The quintessential European player, just long, lean, can shoot, extremely fundamental. He's got a lot to offer, and in the games that I've watched the San Jose, he's been a spark for them.
6'9", out of Istanbul, Turkey. Well, in that game I mentioned a year ago, the Aggies won by point. He had 6 threes in this building.
Yeah, I remember I was there.
You got to watch out for him.
Yeah, he was tough.
Shot clock down to 10. Corner 3, Javon Jackson, and doesn't draw iron. And ball goes to San Jose State. Utah State has dominated on the boards early on, 11-6 on the rebounds as they try to lob it in. A turnover. Here come the Aggies. Osobor, he can handle the ball, and he dishes to Falslip for the layup.
He doesn't try to force it, makes a good decision on a 3-on-2 break. That was textbook.
He's had a number of big assist games.
Yes.
And you can see why. He's very versatile. Young man out of England, one of 2 players, along with Josh Aduje, that are from England, as that gets a friendly bounce, and in it goes. And the lead goes back to the Spartans.
Yeah, and this has been the Aggies' kind of MO in the spectrum. They come out slow, and then for whatever reason, in the second half, they make the necessary adjustments.
Osobor.
And they look like a completely different team in the second half.
We've seen that in so many games this year. But at the end of the day, it's resulted in 18 wins and only 2 losses. Of course, they haven't lost in this building. Three-pointer on the way, air ball. So he'll be hearing from this crowd for pretty much the rest of the game is how that works. Ricky Mitchell misses, and Falslev again finds the hole in the post.
See, and I think that's what's changing for the Aggies. The ball's starting to move. It's not sticking. You're having guys cut to the basket and people looking for their cutters. For a few minutes there, they went a little stagnant on that, and they just passed it around the perimeter.
3 straight baskets made on the last 3 possessions for Utah State, and Falslev skies for that rebound. And again, Osibor posting up. Brown, 3. Talk about an international flair. They've got a starter from Senegal, a starter from Turkey, a starter from Spain. How about that?
Yeah, I was just looking at that as you said that. I said, well, they got an international roster right here.
Well, and then coming off the bench, young man from Portugal, one from Sweden. As Osibor gets to the way of that shot, another from England. I mean, this team, this is an international team,
right,
in every sense of the word. Myron Amy's from Vacaville, Texas. That's nearby, down in Southern California. Got a good ball game here in the Spectrum. Aggies leading in a close one. They'd won 15 straight games before losing at New Mexico, but they stopped 4 shy of the record of 19 games held by my partner's team, Gary Wilkinson, and the 2009 Aggies. You guys won 19 in a row.
Yep. That was a good run. And they beat the team that we couldn't beat, which was Boise.
Oh, that's who ended it for you. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Aggies coming off that big win at Boise State Saturday, vaulting them to, on Joe Lunardi's list, a 6th seed in the NCAA tournament and ranked 17th in the nation. Foul called. Oh, the Aggie fans, they want an offensive, but instead Darius Brown will get the foul.
Yeah, I would say here, he kind of extended on that drive with a little push off. Yeah, raised that forearm up. That's what I may have called that a different way if I was a ref, but I'm not, so.
3-pointer and a tip in, right place, right time, and back to a 1-point game. We're all refs from where we sit.
Right.
The referees, they do a heck of a job, but they never have a home game.
That's right.
And a missed shot there, and here come the Spartans with a chance to take the lead once again. San Jose State, coached by Tim Miles in his 3rd season, and a foul in the post. Oh, now they're starting to really blow the whistle. I mentioned Miles, though, coached at Nebraska and Colorado State. A lot of fans here may remember him from Colorado State. He's been around a little while.
Yeah, he has been around. He's got a lot of experience.
Little lob display set up, but the Aggies do not allow that to happen. And a quick 3 is punched up there and will not go in and steal. And fortunately, the Aggies get it back. Oh, Falslev. Brown. And can't get the friendly bounce.
Yeah, at this point, if I'm the Aggies, I want to slow down the tempo, start establishing more of a post presence, and to put some points on the board. Because this up and down game in transition isn't the Aggies' regular game.
Well, the Aggies have missed now their last 5 field goal attempts. So you're right, it is not working out the way they wanted to.
And on this play, they go down. Osibor establishes himself on the block. They throw it to him. He draws a foul. You can get in the rhythm, get to the free throw line, and start putting some points on the board. That's how the Aggies generally score, and I think that's going to be most effective of them down the stretch.
And connects on the first. That free throw shooting for the Aggies in that, I hate to keep going on about that Boise State game, it just goes to show you how crucial free throws are. I mean, if they don't connect at the rate they did, they don't win that game.
Right. And we talked about that with Colorado State. I mean, Aggies got to the line, they converted. Colorado State, who's a fantastic free throw shooting team, really struggled that night. And it was the difference, I think, between a win and a loss. And that's how it is in these conference games. It's the small things that make the biggest difference.
Ian Martinez hustles and gets that rebound, and here comes Brown, little teardrop. That's a tough shot moving like that. But Mason Falslev had the rebound, then had it taken away from him. And there's the turnover. And here comes Brown with the finish.
Yeah, and after we talked about the Aggies turnovers, they've had no turnovers since that time, and they've put more assists on the board. They're passing the ball better, and they're having more control over the offensive end.
Oh, big block met at the rim. And here come the Aggies. Martinez.
That's when this place really gets hopping.
Quick timeout for Tim Miles. As the Aggies go up by 7. Take a look.
He's so deceptive. Players think he's a guard, he's a wing player. He's not going to get up like that. He does that once a game. He just goes up, meets people at the basket, then takes it coast to coast and finishes the layup just like he did against Boise State.
I'm not sure who got that. I mean, Martinez was there, but so was Mason Falslev.
I think it'd look better if it was Martinez, because it looked like he went and met him at the rim.
Well, Falslev's been a terrific freshman for this team, and coming out of high school just up the road here at Skyview, he actually won the state football and basketball championship in his senior year, both.
Yeah.
Did the daily double. I'm still convinced he could have played football if he wanted to.
For sure.
Originally committed to Utah and ended up coming and found a home here, and boy, they love him here. Part of a 6-0 run right now for the Aggies. In fact, Falslev was the 4A MVP the year they won the football title up there.
The MVP for football?
Yeah, exactly. And we all thought, man, this kid would be a heck of a, he's built to, he could almost be a tight end.
Right. That's what I mean.
Big, strong receiver, though, for Skyview, and guided him to the state title that year.
I think a lot of basketball players make the transition to tight end after basketball's done.
Yeah.
Was it Justin Graham?
That's right. I mean, look at Great Osborne. He'd be a great tight end or defensive end in the NFL. But he's a heck of a basketball player, and great can't get the layup to fall. Back and forth we go. Amy. And Myron Amy gets right to the rack, and Amy adds to his total. He's now in double figures at 10 points.
Well, that's a great change of direction in transition. Just sliced his way through 3 or 4 Aggie players. I could tell Sprinkle wasn't happy about that.
2 minutes to play in the half. Falslev. Good thing Johnson is long, because that pass was high. Shot clock, they're counting it down and trying to draw the foul, and it goes in. Great Osborne. That is his 4th three-pointer of the season. Remember, he had 2 in our last game.
Yeah, because they laid off him. Yeah.
That one was a little bit wild, but it went in, and the shot will not go for Sir Cardenas. And here comes Falslev throwing the lob, but Gray wasn't quite there for the lob, but he got the layup to go. I think Falslev's getting a little bit of a laugh at that one.
Yeah, like I thought you'd go up and get that.
Well, he should still give him the assist.
Yeah.
10-point Aggie lead. 1 minute to play here in the half, and Falslev, it looked like he might have had a block, but he will draw or get the foul.
Yeah, San Jose likes to run these dribble handoff and then backdoor the second guy on the dribble on the handoff side. Here we'll see the attempted alley-oop.
I don't think Great even jumped on the putback.
No. He was just on the floor of the play before, so he's conserving that energy.
But your point about the San Jose State offense.
Yeah, so they they like to dribble handoff, and then they'll backdoor the second guy on the handoff side. Aggies need to help over, but they've been doing a great job this game, but that's kind of San Jose's go-to to try to get the ball into the block. They don't really have a post presence. They just have to use cutters.
I was thinking of Colorado State. You know, Tim Miles coached there. A number of Aggies coaches that have gone through. There's certainly your former coach, Stu Morrill, Larry Eustace at one time. So a little bit of Colorado State history that is linked with Utah State. Gray tries to save that, and here we go, 40 seconds. Aggies by 8. Cardenas tries to take Osobor, and he does. Little hook shot up and in, trimming the deficit to 6. And now this Aggies working for the last shot, and 30-second timeout for Danny Sprinkle to set this one up. Danny Sprinkle going for his 100th career win. 81 wins at Montana State over 4 years, and he's got 18 this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still quite a few wins this year to get.
He's getting going, isn't he? Yeah.
He's got. I've talked to him a number of times after games, and he's pretty humble about this whole. Not pretty humble. He's humble about this. His whole coaching staff doesn't take much credit. They kind of pass it on to the guys, but seeing what they've done with this team is pretty impressive.
Well, they're all that way. You're right. I was talking with Andy Hill. I've known him for a long time. He coached at University of Utah for 10 years, and he was promoted. By the way, I'll go ahead and throw that out to associate head coach.
Yes.
And I asked him, I said, now what is that other, I mean, I'm sure you fattens your pocketbook and a little more responsive. He's like, no, it's just, he totally downplayed the whole thing. They're so humble about it. But he obviously is a very valuable asset to Danny Sprinkle, and all these guys are. Chris Haslam, Eric Brown, the other assistants, and really his whole staff. But congratulations to Andy Hill, either way, being named the associate head coach. Good for him.
Yeah, well deserved. Yep.
All right, 10 seconds to play here in the half. 6-point Aggie lead. Brown directing traffic. And Brown's just going to take it and score. And that's going to do it. And Darius Brown will give his team an 8. Boy, everybody went dead silent as that three-quarter court shot almost went in. So for Brown, he heads to the locker room with 8 points, 13 for Osobor, 10 for Amy for San Jose State. We're going to head back to our KUTV studios for a halftime show on KMYU and halftime on the Mount West Network as well. We'll be back. The score has lost a point while we were away. The Aggies had a three-pointer. It was 38-30 at the half, but the officials, in fact, Randy McCall just came over and talked to us about this. They reviewed a three-pointer that was made with about a minute and a half to go, and they discovered it was only a two-pointer. And they can do that. They can go back and correct, their mistakes, so they've done that. So it's the Aggies 37 and San Jose State 30. Nonetheless, this game's kind of followed the plan. You said it. It's been this way almost every game we've done. Kind of a close game, a little back and forth, and then the last couple of minutes, the Aggies pull away and build up a little bit more of a lead. Now, it's only a 7-point lead, but Gary, they've been playing pretty well. Yeah,
I think they've kind of figured out their rhythm and what they needed to do down that last part of the first half, and we'll see if they made the adjustments that are to keep that streak going as they head into the second half.
Aggies at 6-1 in league play, ranked 17th in the nation. Had a great season so far. That three-pointer is well short, and a tie-up for the ball, and it looks like it's jump ball's going to go the Aggies' way.
That's one thing these Aggies never hesitate to get on the floor. As a shot goes up, they'll be the first one on the floor like that. Johnson is the first one down there, ends up tying the ball up and gaining possession for the Aggies.
So here we go with Utah State 9-0 in the Spectrum this season. 12-game win streak going back to last season, trying to keep that streak alive. Great. Also, we're already working the post. Big battle with Zhang. And that pass sails over the head of Mason Falslev. Next up for the Aggies. Oh, boy, Gary, they get to go to San Diego State. Tough place to play. That's a Saturday at 1:30. Our next broadcast is a week from tonight when Nevada comes here to Logan. Nevada's a pretty good team overall. They're 16-4, 3-3 in league play. Ball is tipped back up and in, and Myron Amy picks right back up where he left off. That is now his 12th point.
And I think the thing is when you play ball, you have to realize, like, you're going to have to beat good teams. And when you go play at SDSU or New Mexico, I mean, if you want to make it in the tournament, you're going to have to beat good teams on the road. So you just look at those as opportunities to get better and figure out what you need to do so that you can win the big games when they really, really count.
Now, they just did that with Boise State. But again, there are a couple of tough games coming up. Still got to go to Colorado State. We'll see how that goes. The drive, the dish, and the layup. Zhang, right place, right time. And the young man from Dakar, Senegal, scores. Grew up playing soccer in Senegal, but quickly discovered, hey, I'm pretty tall. I'm going to do this basketball thing. And the layup for Osborne, he's got back-to-back layups.
And I think that's what Sprinkle told him. That's what we talked about in the first half, is they have, I'm not quite sure they have the bigs to stop Osborne down low. And so to continue to go to him, draw fouls, get easy buckets, that's what's going to kind of help this Aggie offense continue to push that lead and grow that lead.
16 points now for Osibor, so certainly doing his part coming out of the halftime break. Amy, oh, wow about that. Beats the shot clock, and the jumper goes.
I think if any young player wanted to understand what it's like to play defense, they need to watch Darius Brown. Although Amy hit that tough shot, but if you watch Darius Brown off ball, how hard he works and the type of defense he plays, it's really a fun thing to watch.
And he always seems to draw one of the toughest assignments as Osibor loses the ball. But we've seen that a lot with Brown and trying to get back, and he does. Perfect example of what you were saying, ends up with the block.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal. He's got a nose for defense.
Osibor posting up, gives a little nod to Brown. Martinez, three, got it.
I love to watch coaches after plays. I mean, even though Martinez hits that, Sprinkle still in his ear about something on the defensive end, right? That's just the way it goes.
Well, that makes this staff so good. They're always coaching. Shot is missed there. Martinez now in double figures with 10 points.
And I think that's the thing as a player. You need to strike a balance between when you let what the coaches say get in your ear and when you kind of just block it out. Because if you listen to everything they said all the time, you'd have a really hard time playing basketball.
That sounds like somebody who played for Stu Morrill. Three-pointer goes for Isaac Johnson. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, I took everything that guy had. I mean, he was a basketball genius at some.
Absolutely.
But I had to find a balance between where I'm going to listen to it or just keep playing and hope he doesn't take me out.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be honoring Coach Morrill, well-deserved. Coming up on February 10th, Boise State, as the shot is up and in, and Osibor is having his way in this second half.
Well, that's a great pass from Johnson. And Osibor, we've talked about time and again how great a hands he has. So that full court pass to Osibor is able to catch it, finish through the contact, and put himself at the line to extend this Aggie lead.
All right, Aggie fans, we are down here with Kendall.
We are back. Dave Fox, Gary Wilkinson, Chase Hoffman on stats for us. Utah State now on an 8-0 run. Great Osibor with 18 points. You and I were just commenting just during the break there that he's only got 3 rebounds, but as you pointed out, he can get him in a hurry.
Right. I mean, I've watched him where I'm like, oh, he's ended up with 4, and then 6 minutes later, he's got 10. He's
right.
He can swallow those things up in a hurry, just like put points on the board in a hurry.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, he's helped the Aggies to a 14-point first half lead. I had mentioned Stu Morrill. They'll name this court after Stu in a special ceremony. I'm sure you obviously will be here, and a lot of your teammates from that team on February 10th when they host Boise State. 8 p.m. game that night, but this will be the Stu Morrill court. And very well deserved.
Yes, as it should be. I'm not quite sure that his record will ever be beaten at Utah State.
Phenomenal. Three-pointer on the way, and tried to run that down, but this has happened now twice. Oh, boy, Danny Sprinkle is hot. You remember it happened once in the first half when Osborne was throwing it down court.
To Martinez.
And the same thing, only this time Brown. But at the end of the day, it's a 14-point lead for the Aggies right now, so that's the good news for Utah State.
I mean, that's a sign of a great coach that no matter what the lead is, he expects you to play the type of basketball that helps you to win. And
Aggies
turnovers don't work.
there. Yep. Double team on Osborne wisely. Then they vacate. And he turns and throws that up, won't go in. But the foul whistle by Greg Nixon.
Yeah, got his defender out of position on this one with that spin move. He's got such great footwork. His ability to get the guy under him, get him out of position, and put himself at the foul line. He's got 5 times more fouls drawn than himself here. He's got 6 fouls drawn.
Which it leads everyone on the court.
Right.
Shooting 2.
Great Osborne played at Montana State last year. He was actually the 6th man of the year, whatever award they call that in the Big Sky. Saw him last year when we were broadcasting Weber State basketball. Sprinkle's team came up with great, very impressive at the time. Oh, clear path and a kick out. Corner 3 on the way, and that won't go. Oh, Johnson had it in his hands, but the Aggies have it. Here comes Ian Martinez. 10-0 run right now for the Aggies, and Brown can't get this shot to go, but look who's there for the putback. Isaac Johnson, the rebound and the layup.
Yeah. Johnson's got a lot of potential. His scrappiness, his energy, his ability to stretch the floor, make big shots. He's done a lot for this Aggie team this year.
Falslev, and there's a foul. Oh, my. I'm not sure what D.G. Nelson is calling here, but let's look. It's kind of a late whistle.
Yeah, I think after the shot on the rebound, he got Grace Osborne for clearing out.
Johnson, by the way, we were talking about him. He played at Oregon his freshman year and then transferred here. I think he thinks he just committed a foul. Got hit on the chin there, but as I mentioned in the first half, basketball family, his sister Gracie's on this Utah State women's basketball team, and Spencer Johnson plays for BYU. He's having a good season, averaging 11 points a game for the Cougars. Boy, if you're those parents, you're all over the place.
Right. There's not a moment's rest for sports families.
No. Missed shot by Cardenas. Here come the Aggies. Aduge, and Josh has his shot blocked. And going the other way, Amy's been so good for San Jose. Can't get that one to fall. And another foul. This one looks like it's going to go on Ian Martinez. That's 2 for him. Aduge only 2 points tonight, 1 of 6 shooting, Gary, and came off that great game against Boise State, 18 points.
Yeah.
But struggling a little bit tonight.
Well, and that's the thing is basketball's a game of hills and valleys. I mean, after you have a great game, you expect the rest of the season's going to go that way. And sometimes, you you just have to look at it in context and say he came up big when the Aggies needed him. And I think he's done that in a number of games this year. He's made big shots, big plays. He's a factor here.
Well, averaging nearly 10 points a game as he lets his man get free, and quick layup right there.
And that's what we've talked about before is the Aggies tend to switch that on their perimeter defense. They tend to switch. And if you don't have your help side D on that big to guard roll, it really causes problems for them.
Johnson turns, just flings it up there, and it won't go.
Up and under.
Won't go. Oh, man. That would have brought down the house.
Right.
And at the other end, Osborne's going to draw or get the foul. Latrell Davis going to the rack.
Yeah, Osborne's trying to establish position here, but looked like they just initiated contact.
So Falslev will come back in. Sacco going to the bench. But back to Brown, you're right. His whole career, defensive player of the last year. He's much of the preseason, he led the nation. Assist to turnover ratio, he's third now. And you think about, you got to remember all these kids are students too.
Right.
And he's in a master's program.
Yeah. I remember being a student athlete and just wishing for the days where there was no more homework and I could just play basketball for a living.
Well, think about this. You went to law school. What if you went to law school while you were playing basketball? I mean, you couldn't do it.
No. I would fail at one of the other things.
Now, the master's program is probably a little bit different, but still,
yeah,
it's consuming.
Yeah, it is. And yet you have to dedicate yourself to it, plan out time to study, and make sure you get things in.
Lob inside.
Great hands.
Osibor. And Osibor draws the foul to go to the free throw line. He's got 23 points. 8 of those points, Gary, are from the free throw line. And he's got 2 more now.
Well, when we talk about basketball players converting to tight ends, his hands are something.
Yeah, exactly.
Those could be $1 million football hands.
No doubt. Trey Anderson, number 15, he plays for San Jose State. We haven't called him much in this game. He does have 7 points. His brother, Dominic, actually was an NFL tight end. Played for the Seahawks and also the Titans.
Well, he looks like he could do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you see a lot of that. Basketball players. They're all athletes, let's be honest.
And I think it's a nice way to go. I mean, basketball, your body gets beat up, but not like football. So if you can go through college playing basketball and then move over to the NFL, I think you've increased the longevity of your career by a couple years by just not having to play the sport for so long.
Off the foot of Osibor as Myron Amy trying to get that ball in the post.
Look, Martinez may have taken one in the eye there.
Yeah, he's still kind of favoring that. Martinez, a transfer from Utah and then Maryland. A senior now out of Costa Rica. Boy, he's been a good one for the Aggies. 14 points a game. Lob, got it. And Adame Zhang throws it down.
That was impressive. He had to go back behind him to get that one.
Well, he's a 7-footer. He's long and he's not bulky, but he can get up. A little bit different than the Osibor style, which is just like you see there. Try to muscle your way up and in, and he's still fighting. And Osibor draws another foul, and I believe this is going to be 4 on John. It is. But that's just a load for him to. He's got a battle with 250-pound great Osibor, and Jong's not even 200 pounds.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's how do you prep for that as a coach to say, look, we can't let him score, but I can't have you getting into foul trouble.
Exactly. So, okay, no problem, Coach.
Pick your poison.
So Jong will go to the bench, preserve that last foul for now. Remember earlier in the game we were talking about how the Aggies had 5 quick turnovers, and San Jose didn't have any. Well, right now the Aggies are still sitting at 10 turnovers and San Jose with 5, and yet here they are leading by 11.
I am sure that will be a topic of discussion in film tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. And Brown gets his hand on that. I think there are a few things because Danny Sprinkle has been pretty active in terms of coaching up the kids tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's someone over there keeping a laundry list, but he'll remember when they meet next.
I remember those nights of the film after games where I knew Coach wasn't happy about something or other, and
you're feeling all good because it's a 20-point win.
Right, just like
dear.
that, right?
I think this one Danny had to just turn and go and sit down because that was definitely a miscommunique.
I can see the feet shuffling over there. He's just trying not to let. This is one of the games where you may win it, but there's still a lot of time left, but you're going to hear it. No one's going to be happy about it.
And coaches love teaching moments, so
yes,
good for them. So back to San Jose State. 9 minutes to play in this game. 17th ranked Utah State trying to get to 7-1 in Mountain West Conference game and maintain their first place standing. Drive and just thrown up in the air. They're going to call a foul on a Duge. Wow. And I think the crowd believes he was a little out of control.
Yeah, I mean, he put it, and then he just kind of, that was just completely out of control.
So Gorner goes to the free throw line. The junior, good free throw shooter. He's 70% free throw shooter.
I think Randy McCall's telling him he was on the ground. It was blocking.
Yeah, you're right. He's not going to shoot. Okay.
But one thing I loved about Randy McCall was you could talk to him about things. You know, like if you were composed.
Exactly.
He was a ref that would listen to you. Some refs just don't want to hear what you have to say.
Three-pointer on the way. No. And the Aggies have the basketball. Asabor. And great. Again, making a living at the free throw line. As he'll be shooting too.
Well, the thing I've been impressed with is his teammates with looking up the court. Isaac Johnson hit him. Martinez hit him. He runs the floor, so you got to reward your big man for running the floor.
Great's actually 10 of 14 on free throws tonight. So he connects there, but he has missed 4 of them.
He'd be having a 30-point night.
Yeah, exactly. He's at 27 now. And those rebounds starting to creep up since we talked about the fact that he had 3. He's now got 6.
Right.
He did that in a couple of minutes.
Yep.
13-point lead for Utah State. They'll be at San Diego State this coming Saturday. And then back here in the Spectrum a week from tonight against Nevada as that three-pointer is missed. Martinez skies for the board. Give him another rebound. And Martinez now has 5 boards. Darius Brown leads the team, and Falslev, the 2 guards, each have 8 rebounds. And right to the rack. There goes Josh Aduje in traffic.
Yeah, Martinez and Aduje, they've got some bounce. They can get up off the floor in a hurry and be able to come up with some pretty spectacular plays.
Amy, and another rebound for Brown. Brown's going to have a double-double, and part of that's going to be rebounds. And again, they're sending Asabor to the line. Great Asabor, 28 points. And he'll go to the free throw line. Aggies trying to build on their 15-point lead here on KMYU and the Mountain West Network. Back here in Logan. Good crowd on hand here. We were just noticing that. So great Asabor, great at drawing fouls. He's drawn 11. But Gary, this is his 17th free throw attempt. And no one else on the Aggies has shot a free throw.
Right?
It's unbelievable.
That is I don't think I've ever seen a stat like that.
He misses that one, so he's now 13 of 17, but not another Aggie has even been to the free throw line.
Well, he just puts so much pressure on defenses and on the refs to make calls because he just.
What can they do?
Yeah,
right? They're so strong in that post. You know, and on the other side, San Jose State, they've shot a total of 6 free throws. So Asabor himself has shot 3 times as many free throws as the Spartans, as Amy missed an easy layup, but they keep possession. Alvaro Cardenas with the basketball. And Amy lobs down low, and once again the Aggies, they're going to call a foul. And Martinez can't believe it. He thinks he played good defense. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Well, take a look.
Yeah, he changed the shot there, and then it just kind of looked like he fell. But.
Well, so 1-1 for Wise. Gets the first. If you just handed me this stat sheet, I'd say, okay, something's wrong with your printer. It doesn't.
Right.
It shows Osborne with 18 free throws and nobody else has any.
Yeah, it just zeroes out
Yeah.
everyone's free throws.
Yeah. All right, so miss there. Aggies up 15. I mentioned the Aggies' upcoming schedule for San Jose State. They just lost at UNLV. Is that an offensive foul?
No,
it's on the floor where the shot won't count. They're at Nevada on Saturday. Nevada 3-3 in league play, and again, Nevada will be here after that Saturday home game against San Jose State. A lot of good teams in this league right now. When you look at the standings, and Utah State at 6-1, and then you get 3 teams, New Mexico, San Diego State, and Boise State, all at 5-2, and Wyoming's right behind them at 4-3. What? So Great thinks, here's what's happened. Great thinks that it's a 1-on-1 and nobody moved.
Yeah.
And the free throws
That's
missed,
what
so
they
he went and
called.
got it and laid it up.
That
it should
counts.
count.
That counts. That,
Everyone just stood there.
Yep.
So what are they calling now? But so now they're saying ball out of bounds.
yeah, I don't. So he shoots, and I think the thing is the ref touched it. Yeah. No.
Oh, so the ref
didn't-
touched
No,
the
the
ball.
ref didn't touch it on the replay. I think that they
might think he did.
That was a turnover, yeah. That was a turnover from San Jose
So,
State
yeah,
with the basket.
So they
to-
should be credited with a turnover. You're right.
Right. Well,
That's bizarre. Well, I think as that three-pointer is banked in by Martinez, the only thing I can figure is they thought it was a 2-shot foul, San
Right.
Jose State, because remember he was in the post. He looked like he was shooting.
yeah.
But they called it a one-on-one.
But I watched the refs say it was a one-on-one. They're in the bonus.
That is just unusual. That I mean, no one moved as layup scored at the other end. But I mean, on either team.
Yeah, it was a heads-up
And
play by
great-
Osborne.
you've got
He was the only
great
one.
play, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. Well, we've seen some unusual things in this game tonight that I don't know that I've ever seen, and that's certainly one of them.
Osborne's had his man sealed.
Oh, Sabor again, throwing it down. That's his third 30-point game of the year as he goes over 30 again.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might be in contention for Player of the Year with the numbers he's putting up.
Absolutely. The numbers he's putting up, playing on a great team. He's averaging double-double.
Yeah.
18 points, 10 rebounds a game. By the way, his rebounds up to 7 as that hook shot goes up and in for Cardenas. So great, 3 more rebounds for a double-double. And we mentioned Brown very close to a double-double. He needs 1 more rebound and a field goal. Nice pass from Ian Martinez, and it just rolls off as Aduje can't get it to fall, but a good-looking play. He might have stepped out of bounds, and he did. Another turnover. So Adrame Zhang will come back into the game. He's got 4 fouls. And the last thing he wants to see is Great Osborne pounding on him in the post.
Right.
But under 5 to play, Tim Miles has no choice but to get his guy in there. So we'll keep an eye on this battle. I think Brown's already looking at that as they go high with Osborne. Martinez. And that ball tipped away. Here come the Spartans. Cardenas, corner 3, and he gets a friendly bounce.
See, no matter who you're playing, you can't take your foot off the gas. You always have to keep the ball going downhill from a defensive standpoint and keep the pressure on them.
Well, San Jose State just 1-6 in league, but it's a league game, Gary.
Right.
And as you know, you never know. You got to play to the bitter end.
Right.
Kick ball, it'll stay here.
And San Jose's moved in kind of like a containment zone where they're just going to sit their players down on Great Osobor and make them pass around the perimeter and make sure they don't get it down low.
Well, Osobor with 31 points, 13 of 19 from the free throw line. So 13, here he goes. Oh, what a pass. What a pass. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, great. Can score and great can pass. Aduje with the finish. That's a highlight reel pass right there that he just made, and a turnover at the other end. I think it still got a coach, right?
Right.
Aggies up 71-56 on their way to it. Back here in Logan, going back to that bizarre free throw where Great Osobor went after it because it was a one-on-one. We just got a clarification. Randy McCall, he says the arena announcer, who's a good friend of ours, Rob Fligger, I've known him for years, had announced 2 shots. The officials had said 1-and-1, so they thought it was 1-on-1. But when the players heard 2 shots, they didn't move. So the bottom line is, as you see the battle in the post, they ruled it an inadvertent whistle, and that's why the Aggies kept the ball. So that explains it.
That
Just
was
a little
helpful.
miscommunication from a number of folks. But I know Rob won't mind me mentioning that because it gets his name on the air.
Right. He's going to be famous.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, longtime friend of mine. He's worked in Wyoming for years. And the arena announcer here, Ian Martinez, 13 points. Great Osobor, 31. Javon Jackson has checked into the game, and looks like a foul on Udije. Will he be going to the free throw line? Yeah, now let's get this straight. This is 2 shots. Because they 10 fouls now. So Aduje with free throws coming. They're going to straighten out the net. And there you go. These fans here are so great. They don't let anything get by them.
Nope.
As Aduje's free throw is up and good. Josh, a good free throw shooter, 73%. And congratulations, that's the first time someone not named Osobor shot a free throw with 2:52 to play in the game.
I wonder what the school record is for number of free throws in a game, because he's up to 20 now, isn't he?
He is at, well, he just checked out. But yeah, he's got, yeah, you're right, 20 attempts.
Yeah, 20 attempts. That is a huge number.
31 points. What a game for that young man.
Yeah.
And yet another double-double. He's had those all season long. He's had 3 of them over 30. Excuse me, not double-double, but 30-point games. How about that? 3 30-point games in college basketball on a team with this much talent.
Right.
That's impressive.
And in a league that is this competitive and well coached and talented.
Exactly. Brown for 3. Got it.
And that's the thing. Brown's so patient, but he could put up numbers too. We've seen him in a number of games. He's got such a pure shot. He's just such an unselfish basketball player that might be a travel.
Well, surprised they didn't call that. 11 points for Brown as that 3 just rattles out from Latrell Davis. Did Brown get that rebound?
Yes.
He's at a double-double. Yep. 11 points, 10 rebounds. And a 3 on the way. And give Ian Martinez 3 more. He's now got 16 points. And he's connected on all 4 of his 3-point
he hasn't missed a 3-pointer tonight.
Replacing Darius Brown.
Darius Brown will go to the bench with 11 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. And Utah State now, talk about finishing strong, Gary. They're on a 10-0 run. Martinez still in the game with 16 points. By the way, 1 more point and it's ice cream. We always keep track of that. And a foul on the shot basket is good for Latrell Davis. They actually keep stats on which players hit the ice cream shot. Most of them are bench players because a lot of times the game's out of hand.
Yeah.
But we shall see. You're going to hear this crowd go nuts on the next Aggie basket as Sacco skies high for that rebound. I mean, the Aggies certainly don't need to score, but can't let the shot clock expire this early. Sacco. And this could happen at the free throw line. Are they going to? Yeah. There's the bonus. Yeah. So he's got 2 free throws coming, and Khalifa Sacco, a 61% free throw shooter, but only needs to hit 1 for this crowd to go crazy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on him right now.
Well,
he's not going to be able to walk around campus if he misses both of these.
We'll let you listen. You can close your eyes and you'll know if he makes it. Oh, no.
Well, you knew he missed it.
You knew. So, one more.
Now in for the Aggies, Carson Templin.
Boy, if he misses this.
Right.
Ian Martinez going to the bench, and what a game for Martinez. 16 points, 6 rebounds.
Well, Templin was the one that hit it last game that gave him the.
That's right, he was. There it is. There you go. Feed me.
Yeah, and if you haven't ever had Aggie ice cream, you know why they're cheering.
Yeah, why they're going crazy. 22-point lead, and the Aggies still playing hard. And the lob to Sacco, can't get there, but Nigel Burris has also checked in along with Carson Templin.
Yeah, I mean, the depth of the Aggie bench, I think the future looks bright. Burris is an extremely talented player. Templin's a talented player. There's
only a freshman.
Yeah, there's a lot of players on this squad that have a good future as Aggies.
Well, they don't have a senior coming off the bench, so they're all back as Templin turns and puts that in. How about that, Carson Templin? Young man out of Fairview, Texas. And about 40 seconds to go in the game. Layup and 1. We could probably congratulate Danny Sprinkle on earning his 100th career win. So that's going to happen. He'll be 19-2 with the Aggies. Had the 81 wins at Montana State, so win number 100 in a very young career.
Right. I was going to say, he's got to that pretty quick.
Yeah, 4 years at Montana State, 1 year here, so you get to 100 wins in 5 years. I'm not a math genius, but that's 20 wins a year.
Right.
Well, good for the Aggies. They'll get the 7-1 in league and maintain that first place standing. But boy, they've got a tough one coming up. Can't wait to see that as they play at San Diego State this coming Saturday. And then we'll be back here a week from tonight as they take on Nevada. And Javon Jackson content to let that shot clock run out. Good sportsmanship here. You see this a lot in games that are out of hand like this. You see it a lot in the NBA.
Right.
31 points, Great Osobor. 16 points, Ian Martinez. 11 points, Darius Brown. So 3 Aggies hit double figures. And again, Osobor just owned the free throw line tonight.
Yeah. When the Aggies had contributors, whether it was points or rebounds or assists, they had guys step up all over the floor. And that's what they've done night in and night out. Just be able to have guys do the small little things that really help this team be successful.
So the Aggies get to 19-2 on the season. They're ranked 17th in the nation. And 7-1 in Mountain West Conference play, so they will maintain first place in the league with a big game coming up at San Diego State. And there is Danny Sprinkle picking up his 100th win. And just, I mean, this game got away from San Jose State in the second half, but they haven't all been this way for Utah State, and they've really coached these kids up.
Yeah. Well, and it's those close games that I think really show the character of the Aggies. I mean, a lot of these fans see them play at home, and they come away with these bigger wins. But it's the close games that really help you to prepare for what's to come in postseason play and tournament play. And the Aggies have shown their true character through those big wins.
Well, it's been a lot of fun tonight. And we got one more game on our broadcast schedule. It's been so much fun. I'm almost sad to see our broadcast schedule come to an end, but that'll be a week from tonight as the Aggies will take on Nevada. Gary, thank you. It's been a blast. We'll be back again next week. Our entire crew here does a great job for us. We appreciate all of them, and we'll see you again next week. The Aggies get the victory, 82-61 from Logan. Good night, everyone.